and all three angles are equal is known as equilateral triangle. And a triangle where two sides going to be equal but one side is different is known as isosceles triangle. I'm going to tell one more triangle. This triangle is known as scalene triangle. In this triangle, all three sides going to be different side length. That is known as scalene triangle. Now I'm going to tell different things of triangle. If you take this equilateral triangle, how to find out area and perimeter. Here, all three sides are 1 units. You need to find out what is the area of the triangle and what is the perimeter of the triangle. You can find it out. Area of the triangle is equal to root 3 by 4 times of side length square. So it's going to become root 3 by 4 times of, this is the side length, which is 1 unit, 1 square. 1 square means 1 times of 1, which remains as 1. Root 3 by 4 times of 1. This becomes equal to root 3 by 4 square units. Now let's find out what's the perimeter. Perimeter of the triangle is 3 times of the side length. Here it is the side length, so it's going to be 3 times of 1, which is 3 units. So 3 units is the perimeter of this triangle. Let's take find out area and perimeter of another triangle. This is equilateral triangle. All sides they have given us 2 units. Now you can find it out. Perimeter of the triangle as 3 times of side length. Here the side length is 2 units. So it's going to become 3 times of 2. 3 times of 2 is 6. So it is 6 units. I need to find out what's the area of this equilateral triangle. That is root 3 by 4 times of a square or side length square. Root 3 by 4 times of, here the side length is 2 units, it is 2 square. 2 square means 2 times of 2, 4. 4 becomes nothing but 4 units. 4 and 4 cancels out. Root 3 square units. Let's take one more triangle. And in this triangle, they have given like this. That is, all sides of this triangle as 5 units. You need to find out what's the perimeter and what's the area of this triangle. Here the side length is 5 units. You can do it out. That is, the perimeter of the triangle is 3 times of side length. That is 3 times of, this is the side length, which is 5 units. 3 times of it makes perimeter. 3 times of 5, which becomes 15. So this going to become 15 units. Smoke expert eye. And now let's find out what's the area. Area of this triangle can be written as root 3 by 4 times of a square. Now I going to tell what is this. Root 3 by 4 times of, here this is the side length, which is 5 units. So it becomes, you can write it as 5 square. 5 square is nothing but 5 times of 5. You can write here 5 times of 5, which is 25. So it becomes root 3 by 4 times of 25. You cannot divide 4 and 25. So multiply 25 times of root 3. 25 root 3 by 4 square units is the area of this triangle. Let's find out another triangle. In this triangle, they have given all sides of the triangle as 7 units. When all sides are 7 units, here also you need to find out what's the area of the triangle and what's the perimeter of the triangle. You can do it out. The perimeter of the triangle is 3 times of side length A. That means here it is 3 times of, this is the side length, which is 7 units. So it is 3 times of 7 units. 3 times of 7 is 21. So 21 units is the perimeter of this triangle. Let's find out what's the area. Area of the triangle can be written as root 3 by 4 times of a square. A square means this side length square. So it becomes root 3 by 4 times of, the side length is 7 units. So you can write it as 7 square. 7 square means, here you can find out 7 times of 7 becomes 49. So you can write this as root 3 by 4 times of 49. Now you cannot divide 49 with 4. So multiply that 49 times of root 3. 49 root 3 by 4 square units. That is the area of this triangle. You need to find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. Here also you can do in the same way, that is area and what's the perimeter. Area of the side length is 10 units. Now you can divide denominator and numerator. So it becomes 3 times of, this is the side length, which is 10 units, 3 times of 10, which becomes 30 units. So 30 units is the perimeter of this triangle. Let's find out what's the area. Area of this triangle can be written as equal to root 3 by 4 times of side length square, that is a square. You can write it out, that is root 3 by 4 times of, this is the side length, which is 10 units. So you can write it as 10 square. 10 square means it is 10 times of 10, which becomes 100. So it is root 3 by 4 times of 100. Now you can divide denominator and numerator. 4 1 times, 4 2 times 8, and 2 comes here 20. 4 5 times is 20. 25 times of root 3, that going to become 25 root 3 square units. That is the area of this equilateral triangle. Now I'm going to tell how to find out area of any normal triangle. If you take any normal triangle, they must give the base length and they must even give what's the perpendicular height. When they give both of them, you can find out the area of the triangle as half times of base times of perpendicular height. That is half times of, this is the base, which is 1 units, times of, this is the perpendicular height, which is also 1 units. This is a 1 times of 1 times of 1. Numerator it remains as 1. Denominator it becomes 2. Half square units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, they are giving the base length as 2 units and the perpendicular height as same 1 unit. Here also you can find it out. Area of the triangle as half times of base times of perpendicular height. That is half times of, this is the base, which is 2 units, times of, this is the perpendicular height, which is 1 units. Now we can divide denominator and numerator. 2 1 times, 2 1 times. 1 times of 1 is 1, again 1 times of 1 is 1, 1 square units. Let's take one more triangle. Here you can take this triangle. They have given in this triangle the base length as 5 units and the perpendicular height as 1 units. You need to find out what's the area of the triangle. Area of which is 5 units times of, this is the perpendicular height, which is 1 units. Now you cannot divide 2 and 5, so 5 times of 1. In numerator above it remains 5 and in denominator below it becomes 2. 5 by 2 square units. Now let's take one more triangle. In this triangle they have given the base length as 7 units. In this triangle base length as 7 units and the perpendicular height as 1 unit. Here also you need to find out what's the area. Area of this triangle is also the same thing, half times of base times of perpendicular height, that give rise to half times of, this is the base, which is 7 units, times of, this is the perpendicular height, which is 1 units. Now you cannot divide 2 and 7, so it's going to become 7 times of 1 is 7 above and below it is 2. 7 by 2 square units is the area of this triangle. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, they have given the base length as 10 units and this perpendicular height as 1 units. Find out what's the area. Area of this triangle is also the same thing, half times of base times of perpendicular height. So it's going to become half times of, this is the base, which is 10 units, times of, this is the perpendicular height, which is 1 unit. Now you need to divide this denominator and numerator. 2 1 times, 2 5 times is 10. 5 times of 1, which remains as 5. 5 square units is the area of this triangle. Now this all about triangle. Now I start to tell about squares. You can start by taking this square. In this square, they have given all sides as 1 units. You need to find out what's the perimeter of the square and what's the area of the square. they have given this is the side length which is 1 units. Let's take out the perimeter of the square is nothing but 4 times of side length. That becomes 4 times of this is the side length which is 1 units. 4 times of 1 is 4 units. So 4 units is the perimeter of this square. The area of the square can be found out as this side length square. This is the side length. The side length square means it becomes 1 square. 1 square is 1 times of 1 which remains as 1 square units. Let's take out another square. In this square, they have given all sides of the square as 2 units. When all sides are 2 units, you need to find out what's the perimeter of the square and what's the area of the square when side length is 2 units. You can find it out. The perimeter of the square going to become 4 times of side length. So this is 4 times of this is the side length of 2 units. 4 times of 2 which becomes 8 units. So 8 units is the perimeter of this square. And you can find out the area. Area of the square is side length square. So here it is the side length which is 2 units. So it becomes 2 square. 2 square means 2 times of 2 which becomes 4. So 4 square units is the area of this square. Let's take out one more square. And in this square, they have given all sides of the square as 5 units. When all sides are 5 units, you need to find out what's the perimeter of the square and what's the area of the square. Here they have given this is the side length of 5 units. Now you can do it out. Perimeter of the square is 4 times of side length. That means 4 times of this is the side length which is 5 units. 4 times of 5. 4 times of 5 is 20 units. So 20 units is the perimeter of this square. Let's find out what's the area. Area of this square can be written as a square. That means you're going to find out the square of this side length. So it is 5 square. 5 square means 5 times of 5 which becomes 25. So this is 25 square units. Now let's take out one more square. And in this square, they have given all sides of the square as 7 units. When all sides of the square as 7 units, you need to find out what's the perimeter of the square. Here, side length is 7 units. And what's the area of the square. Perimeter of the square can be written as 4 times of side length, which is 4 times of this is the side length which is 7 units. 4 times of 7 which is 28 units. So 28 units is the perimeter of this square, and area of this square can be written as a square. A square means this is the side length square which is 7 square. 7 times of 7 becomes 49. So this is 49 square units is the area of this square. Let's take out the final square. In this square, they have given all sides of the square as 10 units. When all sides they have given us 10 units, you need to find out what's the area of the square and what's the perimeter of the square. Here the side length they have given is 10 units. You can do it out. The area of the square is a square, that is this side length square. So this is going to become 10 square, that is 10 times of 10 which becomes 100. So this is nothing but 100 square units. The perimeter of the square can be written as this one 4 times of side length. So this is 4 times of this is the side length which is 10 units. 4 times of 10 which becomes 40 units. So 40 units is the perimeter of this square. Now I'm going to start by telling rectangles. If you take this rectangle, 1 units, another side is 2 units. Now you need to find out what's the area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle is length times of breadth. That is 1 times of 2, which is 2 square units. Now you can find out what's the perimeter. Perimeter is 2 times of length plus breadth. That going to become 2 times of this is length 1 unit, this is breadth 2 unit, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 times of 2 is 6 units. I'm going to tell in next videos more about rectangles. Bye.